Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena on this Halloween night on Fox Sports Detroit and on Sportsnet in Canada. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you, along with a 150th consecutive sellout here at Joe Louis Arena. Our goaltenders are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jonathan Quick for the Kings with a 5-1-2 record and a .950 save percentage. He had last night off in the loss in Pittsburgh. And for the Red Wings, Jimmy Howard, 25 saves on a really strong effort in victory in Washington a couple of nights ago. And those who ignited that victory in the third period, Justin Abdelkader and Pavel Datsyuk, who got the final goal, a power play tally, and that helps an Abdelkader and a couple, and they were all beauties. And we're underway, the defending Stanley Cup champs against the Red Wings. The Stanley Cup champs are without key cogs tonight in Andrzej Kopitar and Marian Gaborik, who are both injured. Trevor Lewis returns to their lineup tonight for them. Joachim Andersen plays one back to Kaiser, a shot, and it's blocked in front. For the umpteenth time this season, Luke Glendening's lost his helmet. It's knocked off Jared Stoll's stick, and it comes to center. He's just old-time hockey, Luke Glendening.
Yes, he is.
No matter how you look at it. Puck's in behind Jimmy Howard to Kaiser, battling there along with Quincy, and the Kings come up with it and push one back to the line. Robin Regeer with a shot to the goal, and Jimmy Howard got a piece of that one, and it's cleared out to center. As Anderson will want to head off in a change. He can't go yet as the puck's back in the Red Wing zone. Now recovering was Kronwall, who tipped one ahead for Pavel Datsyuk.
This will be the matchup, Ken, that Mike Babcock, I think, would like to prefer if he can get it, or he can get it when he wants to, but he's got home ice advantage in that change. But if it goes well, that's really the key for most of this stuff. No icing there. Datsyuk.
Here's Zetterberg shooting one, glanced off the leg, interfered with in front was Abdelkader. Tap one around in behind for the Red Wing captain. Zetterberg, checked by Regeer. Alec Martinez couldn't clear it out. Held into the line. Kronwall shot. That'll be held by Jonathan Quick.
The line we talked about, the 70s line, led by Carter. And the Red Wings will use Datsyuk, Zetterberg, and Abdelkader against that line if it goes well. They started that way. Had a pretty good chance right there. As Abdelkader does his thing again, going to the front of the net. He's already got a goal of 5 this year off his rear end, and a couple of dandies the other night in Washington.
2 of his 5 goals have been game-winning goals. Thomas Tatar, he'd love to get on track. Number 21 out there for the Red Wings. A race for that puck. And Brendan Smith had Trevor Lewis tied up. Lewis making his return after missing 9 games with an upper body injury. After playing the first game, here's Gus Nyquist. Plays one over. Sheahan, a shot, and a hard shot. He's got that heavy wrist. And I don't know whether Quick got a piece of that one or not. Played through the middle to Tatar. Took the shot that glanced off the stick of Braden McNabb, former Buffalo Sabre, who then ties up Riley Sheahan, who's now lost his helmet.
How about that slash? You hear that one all the way up here?
Sheahan turning. Looks in front to Nyquist. Just missed it. White King with a big body couldn't clear out that puck.
Yeah, he got bumped around by a little body. Tatar knocked him off the puck and went back to the net. Quick says, enough of this quick stuff the other way with these kids. Riley Sheahan was looking for that spot right there over the goaltender's catching glove, and he missed it. Boy, oh boy. Quick is probably the most athletic goaltender in the National Hockey League. He really moves around.
Lives up to his name, and a very good puck handling netminder too. You have to be aware of that as the play is offside, as the Red Wings brought it back in.
He's got great push-off from left to right and vice versa, and that's because he's got tree trunks for legs. Huge, strong.
For just the second time this season, the Kings have gone 2 games without a win, sandwiched around a 6-game home victory streak.
Darren Helm
get up at center is Helm.
He got corked at center ice, and he might go off.
Right now, his first job is to check Jordan Nolan, as Helm now gingerly went to the Red Wing bench. Brendan Smith circles the goal. The Kings coming off last night's 3-0 loss in Pittsburgh, and that followed an overtime loss in Philadelphia. This is game 3 of a 5-game road trip for them, and Quick will hold on, face off to his left.
Well, they were really good at home. And there's a look at Darren Helm getting attention from Pete Van Zandt. But watch this hit. It looked like a high hit. Yeah, it was. Look at this right here. I mean, again, it's one of those the hits that I just don't understand in this game, and you're blind. And we don't call anything. The guys cannot protect themselves. They're completely vulnerable and getting hit from behind. And it's no wonder we got a million concussions in the league with hits like that.
Shot in on Quick. And credit Drew Miller for making that happen. He helped out Joachim Anderson on that faceoff, and he came far from the right side off to the left. Got that puck back to Conwell.
Big boom off the pads. That might have deflected off somebody as well. And Glendening calling for a penalty in front. Watch the hold up here. He's trying to get to that loose puck. He's held up pretty good. And Jonathan Quick is allowed to swim out there and freeze it.
Jarrett Stoll, a good face-off man for the LA Kings, playing on a line with Justin Williams. And their captain, Dustin Brown. Williams has it ahead to Brown. Brown with just a goal so far this season. Brown circling, going to the front of the net, couldn't get through. Good defensive play there by Quincy. Brown with 15 shots on goal the past 4. So he's trying to make something happen. Circles in his own zone and gives one for Alec Martinez, who hails from Rochester, Michigan. As the puck is brought in ahead on the offside. Face-off will come outside the Red Wing blue line. Daryl Sutter, his 4th season as the Kings head coach. A couple of Stanley Cups and some key guys missing.
Yes, the big guy, Kopitar. I spoke with him down in the hallway by their dressing room just before the game, and he said, boy, I won't be long getting back. I just hate being out. I can't stand it. Not when I'm used to going every day. He's a big boy and very talented, very competitive. He's turned into a heck of a centerman, boy.
And Trevor Lewis, just a game-time decision, so he's making his return tonight. He's been injured up until tonight, and he returns for Daryl Sutter. And boy, were folks ever questioning that Daryl Sutter, when he was hired as coach, but Dean Lombardi knew what he was doing and knew him from San Jose days. And the amazing thing, 11 Sutters, whether it be brothers, sons, fathers, whatever, drafted into the National Hockey League. What a family.
Pretty amazing,
what a family tree that is. 11 of them in the NHL.
As they say, Daryl is a man of few words and a lot of faces.
Yes, that's for sure.
He's soft-spoken. Maybe not so many times in the dressing room when things aren't going well, but...
whether the Kings won or lost in the playoff, I just look forward to the postgame.
Oh, I know.
And the news conference. Good play there. Datsyuk to Abdelkader. 3-on-1. Abdelkader's up. Datsyuk behind. Abdelkader shooting. And that was stopped by Quick. Well, you can see the confidence Abdelkader has taking that shot with Datsyuk and Zetterberg with him. Tipped in front, Zetterberg. Saved by Quick. As Mickey had mentioned how fast he is going side to side. Shows you some of that right there.
You really have to get traffic in front of Quick. Like most goaltenders, he's taken away the bottom of the ice with those pads. But you've got to get second opportunities, too. Whoa!
Big collision. Wow. And Smith went down as he was checked by Trevor Lewis. Wanted to make his presence felt early, and Smith went right back at Lewis this time. Now there's going to be a penalty upcoming here to Los Angeles. And the referees tonight, Paul Dvorsky and Kyle Raymond.
It's like Matt Green. A couple of big hits on that shift. I imagine the LA Kings are in a bit of an ugly mood, losing 3-0 in Pittsburgh last night. They've lost 2 straight. They had a great run at home before that. This was really their first big road trip. And, of course, they're the Stanley Cup defending champions. Matt Green for holding. Matt Green reminds me of Bobby Rouse, who was on our 97 championship here in Detroit. Stay-at-home kind of guy. Rough and tumble, make you pay in front. There's a 3-on-1 that Abdelkader decided to take a pop at it. The advantage there is he's left-handed. And look what Quick didn't give him this side of the net. He gave him the trapper. He baited him, basically. He never got it up high. He got it with the left pad.
Well, the Red Wings bell tire power play has Riley Sheahan in the middle, Andre Nestrasil and Thomas Yurko, with Tatar on the back end, along with Danny DeKeyser. Just over 5 minutes gone here in the opening period. Played back for Tatar. The Los Angeles Kings penalty killing is 12th in the NHL. They allowed 2 power play goals, 1 of 5 on 3 last night to the Pittsburgh Penguins. But they do have two shorties, both by Tyler Toffoli, and that leads the league. That play they thought was offside. It wasn't called. I'm not sure the linesman was sure, but the linesman on this side said it wasn't. Played back here for DeKeyser, a shot. That went off Trevor Lewis's boot. Up and out of play. The faceoff will stay in the Los Angeles zone.
That did look offside from up here because we're right at the blue line here. And DeKeyser, who's been getting lots of power play time with that big shot back at the point, but boy, with only a couple of goals in 34 opportunities, they got one last night to make it 3. So they're really looking for anything they can to grab onto to get this power play going on a regular basis.
And the guys who have the power play goals are out there now. Datsyuk has 1. Nyquist has 2 of them. There's Nyquist. Make it 3 of them. 1-0 power play goal. His 6th goal of the season and his 3rd on the power play.
This is the new rule. That puck before the faceoff went off a Red Wing player. That means the faceoff stayed inside. They win the draw. That's it. But watch the bang-bang play here. Here's your guy going down, bang, and into the net. I mean, this thing all happened in milliseconds. No handling the puck. Look at Zetterberg. Right off the tape, right to Nyquist, and Abdelkader with a good screen in front of Quick. It wasn't a hard shot, but it was perfectly placed underneath the pads. Really good puck movement. 3rd power play goal of the season for Gustav Nyquist. Wow.
Remember that Gus Nyquist started the year with goals in 4 consecutive games, and then he went quiet for just a little bit, 4 without a goal, and now he scored in consecutive games once again.
Did he go quiet, Ken? He wasn't getting any chances. So the lineup, Mike Babcock changed that lineup around a little bit to get him more involved in the offense. He seems to have a natural touch around the net because he recognizes good opportunities.
Kaiser circles the goal with it. Williams out front, saved by Howard. On a chance there by Justin Williams. He's been in 7 Game 7s in his career, and he's won them all. Conn Smythe Trophy winner, 3 Stanley Cups. For number 14 in white.
What a playoff he had that year. Boy, did he score a lot and timely goals.
Pavel Datsyuk smoothly in. You could hear the crowd gasp as he brought it into the zone. Helm partially escaped a hit from Jake Muzzin. Back up on his skates. As the Red Wings can't keep in, as Kronwall backs up to his own line. Jonathan Ericsson. Pass back for his defense partner, number 55. This will come down the ice, and it will be an icing, and the face-off will come back into the Red Wing zone.
Now, one more look at the only goal of the game. Kronwall and Zetterberg with the assists. It all came off a face-off win. Abdelkader just lifted his left leg, and Quick had no idea where the puck was, and it was in the back of the net, just like that.
Red Wings made their only shot on that power play count. So they are 4 for 35 on the power play now. And we will get a stop in play. Well, Mr. Hockey Gordie Howe is watching the game tonight from his daughter's home in Lubbock, Texas. And Gordie, we hear from son Mark, you're getting better by the day. Our television family and all Red Wing fans worldwide and here at the Joe miss you. Here's Eric Freine.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an unforgettable career filled with Stanley Cup championships, record-breaking moments, and some of the fiercest on-ice battles the National Hockey League has ever seen, number 9, Gordie Howe has met his toughest battle yet. This past Sunday, the patriarch of our Red Wings family suffered a significant stroke while residing at his daughter's home in Lubbock, Texas. Gordie is resting comfortably in Texas with all 4 of his children by his side, where he is watching tonight's game. We here in Hockeytown want to pass our best wishes, thoughts, and prayers to a member of our family. So at this time, may we ask that you please rise in celebration and support for one of the greatest hockey legends to play the game, and let him hear you this evening, Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe.
for good reason, Gordy. They chanted his name, Ken. At Comerica, if you remember.
Yes.
I know you remember. When he was center ice, said, well, we got a kick out of that down on the ice. He and Ted Lindsay dropping the puck.
Well, how about here when he made the last of his 23 All-Star Game appearances in 1980 and the ovation in this building went on on and on. It was remarkable.
Still remember him standing at the blue line here at the Joe.
We miss you, Gordy. Get well soon, and we know you're the fighter. And getting better by the day. Puck goes down to Jimmy Howard. Brendan Smith will top one around for Jakob Kindle. Riley Sheahan missed the puck. That allowed Martinez not to keep it in. Thought he did, came to the line. But let's revisit that All-Star Game and that ovation in 1980 here at the Joe.
Representing all of hockey with great distinction for 5 decades, number 9.
That statement right there, representing hockey with great distinction over 5 decades. Reed Larson next to him with the lovely haircut.
Yes.
1981. That was good stuff. 1980. The early days of the Joe. I was very fortunate to spend a half a year with Gordy before he went on the first time, and boy, oh boy, it was a great special time to be with him out on the ice after practice and talking philosophy on goal scoring. He was something else, boy.
Nyquist shot went wide. Brought back the other way by Mike Richards. Richards up with Kyle Clifford. Richards takes the shot, now shoots. Howard made the save. He's down, and the puck is underneath.
Well, Jimmy Howard hearing it from the appreciative fans here. That was too close for comfort for sure. Puck up behind him, but somehow he was able to roll over and get it before the white jerseys. And the Kings trying to get this thing tied up, and Howard scrambling around there. He makes a stop there. Did that go off the goalpost? I'm not sure. He's on the short side, and there it is out behind him. And he got help right there from Thomas Tatar. Well, that puck ends up in the back of the net, so we remain 1-0 Detroit as the whistle goes. And Jimmy Howard, as good as the Red Wing penalty killing is, your goaltender has to be your number 1 penalty killer, and he's been that, along with Gustafsson in the 2 games that he's played.
Jared Stoll tied up by Glendening. Now they get untangled in the Red Wing zone, a hand pass called. So we'll get another face-off here with 8:05 gone in period number 1. Our Red Wing player fact brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel. On Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, who spent the first 25 seasons of his legendary career with the Red Wings. Still their all-time leader in games played, goals, points, power play goals, game winners. The NHL leader in games played, second in goals to only Wayne Gretzky. Nice hat, wasn't
No
it?
kidding.
Sharp.
The fedoras in those days, some of the things that Gordy taught me in that half a year, Ken, I try to this day to pass on to young hockey players when I get the opportunity. I'll never forget standing by the hash marks out here and at the Olympia, really, in those days, and talking about shooting the puck and goaltenders and where they're vulnerable and all that kind of stuff. And boy, oh boy, he was a master at that stuff. He had it all figured out long before video and all that kind of stuff. To score 786 goals, I guess you did.
I guess my highlight with Gordy was him elbowing me in a fantasy camp and got me really good. And a stick around my neck on another ship. He turned and I said, "Why'd you do that?" He said, "You were there."
He did not get many people very good.
That's right. He liked to test rookies early on, just to let them know.
He did me also when I was with Montreal and came into the Olympia.
Played by Drew Miller back out to center. Red Wing goal in this game on the power play. Nyquist his 6th from Zetterberg and Conwell at 5:51. Red Wings close out this month of October so far with a record of 5-2-2. A playback there by Eriksson was negated by the forechecking of the Kings. And if you had said to people at the start of the month in the Red Wing organization, could you be 5-2-2 with 1 to play in October? They said, "We'll gladly take it."
No kidding.
It's been terrific, and considering the level of opposition they've had, and closing out the month with the defending champs here tonight.
And they've done most of that without Pavel Datsyuk, who missed the first almost 3 weeks, I guess. So
Back just the
Franz have
five
had a couple of weeks.
Yep, that's right.
No, they're very happy with the record. There was 10
Look at that
games.
steal by him. Datsuk waits, scores! Datsuk gets the goal! Rewarded for a great effort, and it's 2-0.
That's why it's nice to have him back in the lineup. Jake Muzzin's trying to find a place to hide, but not much you can do about this. Here's one of his many steals right there. Look at this guy. He is an absolute robber on Dwight King. And he's trying to pass the puck to Abdelkader, or Zetterberg rather, and it went off Muzzin and underneath the goaltender. Good fortune for a great hockey player. Oh boy.
He's got points in all 5 games he's played now. 3 goals and 6 points in 5 games for Pavel Datsuk, and it is 2-0. That would have Gordy smiling in Texas. Eriksson ahead, knocked away from Shane. Carrying on is Nyquist for Riley Shane. Taken back there by Tanner Pearson out the center. Red Wings will take over. Played over the stick of Eriksson, and that will result in an icing against Los Angeles.
Let's turn the clock back in. The goal I talked about the other night in Washington. Datsuk now back-to-back. And this goal right here, I was talking to him in the dressing room before the game, and I said, you really picked that top corner. There wasn't much there over Holtby. And he stood there and he closed his eyes. He went, I shoot, closed my eyes. I said, yeah, right. You knew exactly what you were doing. And there a moment ago, he steals. He leads the league in steals, or is at the top of the class with steals every year. And Dwight King's not going to be happy about that, but the Red Wings get a break and go up 2-0, and I think Sutter's called his timeout because his team's on their heels, even though they had a couple of chances before the Datsuk goal. But Howard was good. Now Darryl is saying, enough guys, come on. We've lost 2 straight. You're getting embarrassed. Get off your you-know-what and get going.
Well, his team had an 8-game point streak prior to last night. Both games this season of 10, which they failed to get a point, they were shut out. You're not going to get any in that regard because somehow you got to put it in either shootout or something, but they didn't get that far. Shut out in regulation. Too far for Abdelkader. Datsuk back up there. Abdelkader to Zetterberg. Just couldn't finish. Getting back to help cover was Tanner Pearson.
He's 7.
Gets the puck back from Eriksson. Zetterberg fakes. Another one. Still with it. Like it's on a string. Gets it back again for Cronwell. Waits, and then it was finally blocked by Martinez. Eriksson will wait, sensing a change for his group up front.
Stay here. Stay here, Connie. Come on. Right here.
Now Cronwell back for Eriksson. Nestrasil got a piece. Muslin pounded by Helm. Thomas Jurko. Helm's got it now. Helm circles a goal out front. Loose! And Jurko had an opportunity, but a hooking call on Los Angeles. The Red Wings are going to go to a power play. It's 2-0. We're back in a moment on Fox Sports.
Red Wings are 5-2-2 for one main reason, and this is it right here. This puck is dumped in on the right of Jonathan Quick, and watch the speed of Helm here getting on the puck retriever. Also here, Jurko, they completely overtake the Kings right there, turn the puck over. Darren Helm's going to get it, come to the front of the net. That's where the penalty occurs, but blazing speed and relentless work has gotten this team 5-2-2, and it's gotten them back on the power play right now.
Mike Richards in the box for Los Angeles. So DeKaiser has it with Zetterberg on the other side. Defers to Datsuk, across here to Zetterberg. Nyquist in the slot, Abdelkader in front of Quick. Cronwell, Zetterberg, one-timer, and a piece of that by Quick with the right arm. Knocked down by Gus Nyquist. Zetterberg to Nyquist, to Datsuk, to Kronwall, just wide, top in goal! Nyquist, it's 3-0!
Boy, oh boy, what is going on? They're wondering. Gus Nyquist ends up with an open net, but absolute mastery of passing back and forth. This puck missed the net completely, and Nyquist got in behind the defenseman Green and had a wide open net. Nothing Quick could do. He didn't know where the puck was, never saw it. So the screen in front is responsible. That's how to play for 2 of the 3 Red Wing goals here, and the Kings are on their heels officially. 3-0 Detroit. This is crazy. They haven't had an outburst like this in quite a while.
And 2 power play goals. And we always talk about the lively boards at Joe Louis Arena. I wonder if Al Sabatka and company can get that going in 2017 in the new building.
Right place, right time for Nyquist, boy.
Kaiser hurries back, and this will be an icing. So Datsuk's got himself a goal and an assist tonight. Kronwall's got a couple of helpers. As Gus Nyquist has 3 goals the past 2 games with 2 tonight, 7 on the season for him, and 8 points. Pavel Datsuk got yet another point. So give him 7 in 5 games in the year. 11:44, the time of the goal. Brendan Smith had it bounce off him. Dustin Brown couldn't get through. Andrei Nestrasil ahead for Helm along with Yurko. Yurko trying to hunt that puck down. Smith knocked it over for Kindle. Nestrasil taken out by Regeer, the veteran defenseman, number 44. Getting his head up at center, Jordan Nolan. The Red Wings will meet his daddy's team on Sunday in Buffalo. The Sabres really struggling. Fake shot a couple of times by Doughty. Bodies in front of the goal. Puck still loose. Tapped there by King. Never got through. Dwight King couldn't center, and Nyquist is away. Breaks inside the line. Threw it past Doughty. Muzzin will chase. Chased by Shane. Picked up at center by Cronwall. Eriksson back for Cronwall. '50th consecutive sellout crowd enjoying this one here tonight in a 3-0 lead. Shots are 10-5. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you and our Fox Sports Detroit crew. Knocked away from Kronwall. Back to get it goes Eriksson. Red Wings with 2 power play goals tonight. 2 in the same game for the first time this season in game number 10. Puck poked away from Kyle Clifford, able to move it back for Matt Green. Grand Ledge, Michigan native, out Lansing way. Pushed back in deep by Trevor Lewis. Smith saw a hit coming. Green had moved in, put it right on Abdelkader's stick to Zetterberg, who turned one back. Smith patiently waits. Gets it back from DeKaiser. Datsuk for Zetterberg, just missed him, icing as a result of that. Don't miss the action Friday, November 7th when the Wings take on the Devils. A week from tonight, it's Military Appreciation Night, and every fan at the Joe will receive a military dog tag. For tickets, ticket executives are standing by. 313-471-7575. You can call right now. You'll be part of the 151st consecutive sellout. The Red Wings will head on the road for 3 games in Buffalo Sunday, then Ottawa Tuesday, and taking on the Rangers on Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden before returning home. Howard got a piece of that with the shaft of his stick. Datsuk kicked it over. Zetterberg gives him the puck back. Datsuk wants off on a change, so the Red Wings regroup. Yakupkinda. Tatar gathering speed into the Kings zone for Nyquist. That was blocked. Tatar's got it again to Shane. Back to Nyquist. Stepping around Regeer. Back in front. Scores! Tatar! Great pass from Nyquist.
Well, once again, it's the speed of the Red Wings that is causing all kinds of problems for the Kings. And Nyquist, wow, he avoided that check by Robin Regeer and went back to the short side, the old Henry Richard play. And Tatar, who has had trouble finding the back of the net, gets his first in 7 games. Second of the season. So, a night for Nyquist. But that speed again, Ken, is just amazing.
Glendening. To Anderson. Saved by Quick.
One more goal and Quick might be on the bench. Not because he's played poorly, but his team has given him no support.
Martin Jones had played last night to give Quick the night off so he could come tonight. Not that they can't go back-to-back. Just onside. As much as we think, Mick, through the league, through the years, that a rested team playing a tired team coming in the next night is a huge advantage. It's only around 10 or 15% difference.
Yeah, I don't really buy that.
It's not a huge deal.
No. What I think, I mean, unless the Kings have a remarkable comeback here, and it's not without reason that they can, because they've done it a lot, especially in the playoffs. I think that right now the Kings are just in a down spurt in the season. They've lost 2 straight. They had a great run at home. They were due to level up. Anaheim's done the same thing right now.
And they're without Kopitar and Gaborik and Boyanov, and that could take its toll too. But the Red Wings, they know all about injuries.
A lot of times it's not who you're playing, but when you're catching them. And it could be a perfect time for the Red Wings to catch the Kings here in the 10th game of the season.
Unlike the 4 meetings a few years ago, just 2 now, and this is the only meeting here. We'll meet again out in Los Angeles. And the Red Wings have had their way with the Kings, though. 7-2, their past 9 versus Los Angeles. And at the Joe since 2001, a remarkable record. 18-4-1. And that one game being a tie. Back when you could tie those things.
Yeah. Well, you can bet that Daryl Sutter is, if he hasn't already said it, is thinking about what he's going to say after this period. 4-0. You saw the home and road records there. And Quick's really been under fire in this period. Really, Detroit's only got 12 shots, but my goodness, they've been all over the Kings.
And with 2 power play goals in Los Angeles is the second most penalized team in the league. And the Red Wings have taken advantage thus far, getting a power play going that clearly needed a boost coming into the game, 25th in the league. Abdelkader for Datsuk. Chipped it deep into Los Angeles territory. Eriksson held the line. Played ahead to center, but no further. There's Toffoli.
Could be interference.
Carter out.
It might be a mercy no call.
Long shot in by Toffoli. With a 4-game, 8-point streak stopped last night in the shutout in Pittsburgh. You've got under 2 to play in an all Red Wing first period. And you're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Leafs in the Jackets. Toronto's Phil Kessel puts a shot on net. Looks to be a goal. It's waved off. The replay would show the puck clearly went over the line. It's reviewed and the call is overturned. It's Kessel's team-leading 6th goal of the year. And the Leafs lead it 1-0 now in the second. Back to Ken and Mick at a jumpin' Joe, fellas.
Yeah, and boy, those Blue Jackets, they got, 9 players injured. Boy, the Leafs could have their way there. Got a broken glass here, so what they've done here at the Joe, they've sent the teams to their dressing rooms, so they'll tack on a minute 52, I believe, to start period number 2 on the clock. So we've got our intermission coming your way. John Keating is here at the Joe with us tonight. We'll guess with a 2-goal shooter and got an assist as well, Gus Nyquist. We'll hear from Darren and Chris and their thoughts. And Matt Shepard will lead them through the first intermission. He'll be in studio after we take this timeout. Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena, and that cracked the glass. A long shot in from center by Tyler Toffoli, and that pushed the end of the first period to the start of the second. So they'll put 1:52 on the clock as both teams made their way to the dressing room. No sense waiting around with so little time remaining. So we'll finish the first period before we technically begin the second with 1:52 still on the clock on this Halloween night.
It's a bad combination. Home game for the Red Wings and Halloween night, I'm going to tell you. Oh boy, have another ginger ale. Yes, indeed. Be a wild night in the town. Just as the Red Wings keep going like they did in the first period here with 1:52 left. Boy, oh boy.
So first period continues, and then the teams will switch hands as Joachim Andersen can't split the D through Doughty. Brown for Justin Williams. Left off Brown for Doughty. Doughty turning. 5 assists in the season for Doughty, still without a goal. So strong. The Olympics for Mike Babcock, Team Canada. Jake Muzzin. As Miller will clear one back. Doughty gives Jason no icing. He looked back at the linesman but didn't get the call. Zetterberg at his own line. Abdelkader. Back for Zetterberg. Left it there, and Abdelkader goes to get it again. And that's what he knows his job is to do, retrieve those pucks. The linesman has been retrieving them from the back of the net the way Abdelkader's been scoring this year. Clifford moves in, getting a step on him. Low is to Kaiser. Erickson. On the other side as Kyle Clifford cut it off. Number 13 counterpart, that's it. Played it off the kick plate neatly. Then the Red Wings will regroup and they can get a line change here with 15 to go in the first period. But not before we get one more face-off in the Red Wing zone for an icing. Well, Hanson's brings you our report card tonight. Franchise records on Halloween between these two. Kings defeated the Wings 5-1 the last time they met on Halloween. That's sent off the glass, down the ice again, and that'll do it for period number 1. And the shots are 12-7 for Detroit, and they put up 4 goals and 2 power play goals, both from Gus Nyquist. And the Red Wings now, Mick, have scored in their last 3 power play tries because Datsuk in Washington scored on the last power play attempt, and they are 2 for 2 tonight.
Datsuk goal in Washington is a good example when the game's in hand, even though it was a 1-goal game, it was late in the game, and you take that opportunity to try to work on whatever needs working on at the time, and that was the power play, and sure enough, they get that one, and 2 tonight out of the 4 in the first period as they switch ends, and boy, that was quite a speed period for Detroit.
Now, the Incredibles, Jakob Kindl. Duck Dynasty guy, that's Kyle Quincy. Johan Franzen is the skeleton. Henrik Zetterberg dressed up as Gus Nyquist. Good job, Hank. But Duck Dynasty guy won't be back in the lineup tonight. He's out with a lower body injury as Kyle Quincy. So he hopes it's not too long to go hunting. Being Duck Dynasty guy this month, right? So that's the bad news for the Red Wings. They're down to 5 defensemen tonight, with Kyle Quincy out for the rest of the night, and Johan Franzen and his wife.
Pretty good.
Nice stuff.
I wonder if that's a mask or just I think it's a makeup job, not a mask. Yeah.
And Johan Franzen will return to the Red Wing lineup, we hope, on Sunday against the Buffalo Sabres. And that would mean Stephen Weiss would go on injured reserve after hurting his groin playing in Grand Rapids, trying to get back into shape after not playing so long. So it hasn't worked out well for him, and Franzen's been out since October 17th, missing his 6th game tonight with the groin injury. So that's how the Red Wings will juggle things when Franzen returns Weiss to IR. Daniel Cleary and Brian Lashoff are healthy scratches tonight. And if Kyle Quincy can't go, well, Brian Lashoff's going to get into his first game of the season down the road. Out of the corner, Tatar to Shan! Goal post! Wow. He rattled the iron. Nyquist gets bumped. Tatar tries to play it off the back, but couldn't. Good job by Regeer defensively. Helm with a shot that went high. Kings take over at center and backhanded in by Jordan Nolan, but play goes offside as they have words there to Andy Andrioff.
Well, Riley Shan, after a nice setup from Tatar, he's got 2 guys looking after him, and he got hooked a little bit, but right off the crossbar. Jonathan Quick trying to find it. He got on the right side of the bar that time.
That may have gone off the Pierce stick on the way through.
Yeah.
Long shot that Howard handled for Kindle.
Once again, Ken, it's the speed of Detroit. They're just relentless. This will be a nice thing. It's relentless, putting the pressure on the other team. And this tonight, LA is really struggling to get anything done, as you might imagine, when you got somebody all over your back all the time. There's no time and no space. Very frustrating, and especially if your team isn't going well and the Kings are not hitting on all cylinders right now, no matter who they're playing. So you add those 2 things together and you get a 4-0 score after 20 minutes of play.
Drew Miller was hit hard at the line. And the Red Wings tag up, and the Kings will set up on their 2nd cup in 3 years last June. Only Willie Mitchell and Colin Fraser are gone from that cup-winning team, so they've kept the core group together, and for the most part, pretty much together from the previous cup. Hurt, though, is Justin Williams. Looked like a right hip as he went heavily into the end boards. He'll make his way hunched over to the Kings bench as Quick will hold on to that. So Williams slow to get over there, playing in his 223rd consecutive game tonight. Previously, prior to that, had Achilles tendon surgeries, a couple of knee surgeries. So he's been pretty durable. But here he went heavily in.
He sure did. He stumbled after trying to make a hit, and it looks like shoulder or right hip.
Yeah, he was handling his right hip, but it looked like shoulder. You're right.
He could not protect himself. He was trying to make a hit. It's a tough game, boy. Especially when you're trying to make hits in close to the boards. And whether that can get worked out or not remains to be seen. Boy.
There will be no icing as Howard will tee one up here for Smith. So again, with 5 Red Wing defensemen, the defense pairs will be juggled up here now. As Martinez, the defenseman for LA, will shoot it back in. He was the hero in the cup-winning goal for the Kings. Alec Martinez. The hero earlier in the playoffs, too. In Chicago. Played back here for Eriksson. Tatar dangling at center. Tipped through by Shan. Out to play it is Quick. Went off a skate. To Kaiser, backpedaling for Kendall. Across center and in as Nyquist jumped to get out of the way. Let go there to Datsuk. To Zetterberg. To Datsuk. Oh, and Quick got over. Oh, was that smartly set up. The Euro Twins combining there and a great chance. And are we going to get a penalty here to Los Angeles for delay of game? I believe we are.
Datsuk and Zetterberg a moment ago came off the bench, and the puck immediately came
LA penalty number 10, 2 minutes delay of game.
to them as they announced a delay of game penalty to Los Angeles. And Henrik passed the puck behind him. Quick was looking to his left, and the puck went off Jonathan Quick's back. Watch this. He's looking over here, and this puck goes right off his back and up and over. It's a miracle that didn't go in the net. But these two, like the Sedin Twins in Vancouver and a few other combinations around the league, pretty tough to beat when they got stuff going like that.
Here's Nyquist. He had a great chance to cut in front. Quicks without his goal stick. And a smart play there by Dwight King to try to get the Kings goaltender his stick back. Point shot. And a piece of that by Quick. Comes over here for Zetterberg. Went off a skate. Datsuk hunting that puck. Couldn't get to it. Zetterberg again. Take the shot. And Doughty went to block. Cronwall firing.
Wow. Right into the traffic. Right into the catching glove. No, he didn't. It was perfectly placed. That shit good position by Jonathan Quick. Just off the ice, and that puck about 98 miles an hour went right into his catching glove. Traffic all over the place. Again, Abdelkader doing the job that Thomas Holmstrom did so well for the Red Wings all those years.
Puck will come back to center. This is the first time since opening banner night for Los Angeles in a 4-0 loss to San Jose that the Kings have allowed more than 3 goals in a game. They'd held their opponents to 3 goals and fewer in each of their past 9, in which they went 6-1 and 2. But the Red Wings put up 4 in the first period against Los Angeles here tonight. So that is a rarity against this Kings team.
Well, it's a good thing because they only got 24 goals scored. I mean, that one line's got 17 of the 24 total in 10 games. So they're not even at 2.5 a game. So if it wasn't for their defense and their goaltender, that's outside, they'd be in big trouble. As it is, they're only lost 2 games in regulation.
Yeah, Pearson, Carter, and Toffoli, 16 goals and 33 points in the past 8 games for Los Angeles. Just a reminder, as you enjoy cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. The Wings still with 48 seconds remaining on their Bell Tire power play, a power play that started the season at 2 for 33, but is connected on its last 3 attempts. This the 4th. Seeing if they can go 4 for 4. As Cronwall leads the attack. Zetterberg off his stick. He'll try again out of Kendall's reach. Fired down by Matt Green. Checked was Lewis. Cronwall will circle back as Zetterberg gets his stick back. For Pavel Datsuk, back to Zetterberg, and just missing the heel of his blade. Abdelkader, good second effort for Zetterberg to Cronwall, wrist shot, hit a body in front. And Robin Regehr off the glass and down the ice as the penalty is over to Mike Richards. So 2 for 3 is the Red Wing power play tonight. Good job by Miller getting back on Richards.
Another example of quickness right there. Puck jumps over somebody, bad bounce, and there's one of your teammates there filling the gap, supporting your teammate. And that's really been the moniker for Detroit in the first 10 games of this season, boy. Lots of support. The guy without the puck is the key guy.
Justin Williams just tried it for a shift for LA, and he didn't look very happy going back to the Kings bench. So I don't know how long this night's going to continue. Perhaps it will. We'll see. Dustin Brown was hit by Glendening. Brown had been perennially the league leader in hits. Erickson sets up. Or to Kaiser. It's a pretty big defense tandem back there for the Red Wings. Erickson now has to hurry, but Howard will come out and play it. He made some huge stops in Washington the other night, didn't he?
Sure did. You have to have, when you're not scoring a lot of goals, and Detroit hasn't been until tonight, you have to have top-notch goaltending, and they've gotten it.
Muzzin with his shot that was blocked. Tanner Pearson digging for it. Sheahan on it.
Time!
Was back to the line for Doughty. Shot was blocked in front. King still with just 8 shots, and we're 2.5 minutes away from the halfway point in this game. Muzzin will flip it to center. White King off Brendan Smith. Sent in deep by Jordan Nolan. Circling back was Yurko for Smith. Helm gets it into LA territory. Turning is Martinez, chased by Nestrasil. Comes to the line for Kindle. Fanned on it. Picked up though by Yurko, who was slashed at and no call. Martinez played it. Nolan's got it. Bouncing puck brought back in. Andrioff. Number 15 for Los Angeles, Andy Andrioff out of Pickering, Ontario. He's playing in just his 8th NHL game tonight. What with some of the Kings' injuries. Pass off White King's stick and sent right back into the LA zone by Kronwall. Green with a good pass ahead. Nolan will backhand it from his own side of center, and this will be icing against Los Angeles. Let's take a look at the Flagstar Bank Star watch and Jimmy Howard. The last 5 games against Los Angeles, 4-1 with a sparkling .955 save percentage. And look at his numbers from last year to so far this year. And he has said he spent an off season working as hard as he ever has.
He looks in better shape. And because of it, he's moving around. He looks like a lot easier than he was.
Kindle reached for that puck. White King tried to get it past him. He couldn't. McNabb played it over for Green. Tipped through by Nolan. Howard in the trapezoid leaves it there for Kindle. Anderson couldn't pick it up at center. Play is in back on side, and Howard will just hold on for a faceoff. And with that, we'll step out. 4-0 Red Wings. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. This is the 10th game of the season for the Red Wings as they close out the month of October. Their next game will be November 2nd at Buffalo. That's important because if you're not within 4 points of a playoff spot by November the 1st, your chances of getting in are pretty slim. Only 5 of 40 teams who have been more than 4 more points out after November 1st have got into the playoffs, and you can see the playoff structure right now in the Eastern Conference. Those teams highlighted in yellow on the lower right: Columbus, Buffalo, Carolina. The only teams more than 4 points out of a playoff spot. Columbus, you'd think, has a pretty good shot. Carolina and Buffalo, you'd guess not anyway. But Columbus, if history tells us anything, is in a tough spot to get in, and yet they're not that far out.
Right. Yeah, what's amazing is that now we've got parity in the NHL, so fewer teams really, under normal situations, are going to be out that quickly as there were before. But even that, only 40 teams in over time.
506.
It's not too bad, really.
Nope. Only 5 of them got in, and 2 got in last year. That being Dallas and Philadelphia. They were 4 or more out as of November 1st and got in. And we used to always say it was Thanksgiving.
Right.
Well, now the league's so close, you can't go by the U.S. Thanksgiving anymore into November. Here comes Glendening, and the puck's knocked off his stick. Shot sent wide of the goal by Dustin Brown. teams around the league now are going through what the Red Wings and the Penguins went through last year. There's been a horrible virus going through the St. Louis Blues dressing room. The Center for Disease Control was called in there. Ken Hitchcock doesn't know what he can do with that group. Everybody's getting sick, and we wish them all the best.
They got a couple of guys with concussions that continue to be a real bugaboo.
And you've got the Bruin injury situation and the Blue Jackets. Howard is squirted free, and they score. They bang it in. Martinez from his knees got a backhand shot through that eluded Howard, who's still wondering how that got through. He didn't have his stick, and it maybe found the only spot, Mick, that it could have.
Well, I think
Kings within 3.
I think they were looking for that puck to be ruled dead. It was just good. See right here. I don't know. I mean, in real time, they just didn't stop, because you don't stop in this game until you hear the whistle. And it was Richards that dug it out. Howard had it covered. There isn't any question about that. Watch the time here. They're looking for that whistle to go.
And if you looked at the referee in the corner, the whistle was up to his mouth.
Yeah.
He was about to blow it, but didn't.
Again, if you're playing this game, I don't care what level you're at, you just keep going until you hear the whistle. You just never know.
Right.
And that's a perfect example of it. And
No way. I'm right there.
the abdicator talking to the linesman. Pretty kind. But the Kings get a potentially big goal. Hard work, staying with it, and we've still got 30 minutes of hockey to play, so all of a sudden they get something to build on.
Alec Martinez, so he has plenty of family and friends here. Rochester Hills, Michigan. Richards and Lewis, who returns to the lineup tonight after being out since the first game of the season. We're playing one game. Abdelkader goes after. Taken to the boards by Muzzin. Who fed Pearson over Carter's stick onto Toffoli. 10:41, the time of the Kings' first goal. And Howard will hold on to that.
You can see the Kings have got a little bit of jump in them now after that goal right there. So 8:44 left in the second. It's 4-1 for the home team. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena, and it's now time for our AT&T U-verse Rewind. Take it back to the Stanley Cup Finals. And Alex Martinez, that you spoke about, Ken, gets the game winner against the Rangers in double overtime off a rebound from a Toffoli shot. And the Kings get their second championship in 3 years. And I would say that if they should do that again this year, it would be a modern-day dynasty. 3 and 4 years.
As we mentioned off the top, in a salary cap world, you almost got to change the definition of what a dynasty is.
I think so, yeah, for sure.
They've kept most of this group together. Dean Lombardi's done a marvelous job.
And I'd say the same thing for Chicago. They've won 2 in the last, 4 years? So, yeah, it's very, very difficult and so different than the past. The Islanders won 4 straight in the early 80s. Montreal, of course, won 5 straight with Scotty Bowman in the 70s. But that's not going to happen in parity world today.
How tough it is now to go back-to-back, right?
That's right.
The Red Wings in 97 and 98.
And we're nigh on 20 years for that. Might be too long.
Many of the pundits still thinking the Kings, because they've kept all of their group but 2 together. It's a long season. Andre Nestrasil. Regier took his lane to the net away. Just sent back down the ice by Jordan Nolan. But there'll be no icing because the Kings. Brown gets there first. Dustin Brown looks to the net. Off the leg. Backhanded. Howard had to be quick there with the pads to make that save. Big collision back in the Red Wing zone.
I guess so.
Once again, it's Glendening and Brown, and they've come together a few times tonight.
Brown went after him this time with a purpose. It wasn't just an incidental hit. He wanted to basically send a message. Both of them went down hard. The puck went to the front of the net. And it's going to go into the left to Howard right here. And here comes Brown looking for 41. He knows exactly who he's going after. Foul. Big hit.
Regier to Martinez. Richards, Lewis, and Clifford up as it's stolen here. And good save there by Quick as he was able to stop Riley Shan. Who gives it back to Tatar. Shan's got it, knocked it out of the air, and he just couldn't get it to settle down to lift it over Quick. Riley Shan has those very good hands. Norm noted when the Red Wings took him in the first round for his defensive composure at the University of Notre Dame. But Shan's shown some really offensive skill in his couple of years here with the Red Wings. Stay tuned to Red Wings Live following the game, where we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings player of the game, presented by McDonald's new Fresh Baked McCafe Blueberry Muffin.
Well, you're right about Riley Shan. I mean, he has really grown quickly. I mean, he was in the lineup a year ago. Only played half a year, got 9 goals. I mean, he was in because of injury, and boy, he grabbed the opportunity.
Datsuk to Zetterberg, and a save by Quick. And it was Shan, Mick, who tied the game late on April 9th at Pittsburgh, and that assured the Red Wings a 23rd consecutive playoff season. One of his 9 goals in the season and 24 points in just 42 games, and he was +8 in that time. He wanted to work on his speed, and he's done some of that, very smart defensively. He was the youngest player in college hockey in his draft year when the Red Wings took him, 21st overall in 2010. De Keyser tipped off the stick of Pearson. So the top units go head-to-head again. Datsuk able to block it. Just couldn't pick it off, though. Able to recover was Muzzin, who's out there against Datsuk, Zetterberg, and Abdelkader with Doughty. Off Abdelkader's skate as Muzzin moved one in. Toffoli's shot is blocked. Dwight King for Los Angeles. Left it there for Jeff Carter. To the line for Doughty, and a save by Howard.
You had to get that through traffic.
King up with Jordan Nolan. Nolan ties up to Keyser. Datsuk trying to work his magic. Which way will he go with it? No, just taken away though by Nolan. Into the slot it came, and just wide of the net. And Griot with an opportunity. Over to get it is a tired De Keyser. Plays one ahead somehow. Zetterberg just whipped the stick around, and it came. Zetterberg's got it again, and then knocked away and cleared back by the Kings' Nolan. Who hops on that loose pocket center. Backhands one into Howard, who will set it up there for Brendan Smith. Under 5 to go in period number 2. Red Wings with 4 in the first and lead by 3. Helm couldn't get through. Shot in by Williams will be stopped by Howard. So with that, we'll step out. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Leafs and Jackets, second period. Dion Phaneuf on the power play puts one on point. David Clarkson able to get a stick on it, deflected home. His 3rd of the season. It's 2-0 after 2. Toronto in front, almost through 2 at the Joe. Here's Ken and Mick.
Well, Shep, any thoughts on this? Took a puck to the head, this little one. Both of them.
Brothers, I'll bet. Huh?
Dustin Brown. Stay on his skates. Jam near side as Green came in for Los Angeles. Miller had him. Moved ahead by Glendening. Just couldn't get Anderson in full stride. Justin Williams obviously okay to keep going for LA. After going to the boards heavily midway through this period. Erickson leaves it for Brendan Smith. Again, the Red Wings lost Kyle Quincy with a lower body injury. in the first period. Down to 5 defensemen. That time they built up a 4-0 lead. Kindle had a shot block, got to it again, put it off to the left wing offensive corner. Trevor Lewis for LA. Clifford got to the puck and shoots it in. Shane, who's had some good opportunities, dropped it back to Gus Nyquist, who has 2 goals tonight for the Red Wings, both on the power play. Nyquist with 7 goals on the season, up among the league leaders now in the National Hockey League. Shane left it there for Nyquist. Nyquist with a good spin back. Back to Shane, and it just hopped over his stick, then lost his twig. Tatar able to knock it out of the air, but it went right to Clifford, up with Richards. Richards has it. And he gets knocked down. There's going to be a penalty to Nyquist. Tripping will be the call from the veteran referee, Paul Dvorsky.
Well, you got to give the Kings credit. They haven't quit. They've gotten the goal, albeit a scrappy one to make it 4-1, and they forced
2 minutes for Tripp.
this kind of a play with good energy here in the 10 minutes of the second period. If they can get the next goal, they're thinking, boys, we got a hockey game going into the third. So Nyquist, after that opportunity that Shane is unhappy that he didn't get, goes to the penalty box, and Gus Nyquist doesn't get too many penalties in a season. That's minutes 3 and 4 for him.
The Red Wings don't either, Mick. They're the 5th fewest penalized team in the league. Just the first time tonight Los Angeles goes to a power play that's ranked 21st. Detroit penalty killing ranked 1st in the National Hockey League, 30 for 32. They began the season on a 25-25 run and have since allowed 2 power play goals. The Kings are in. Howard the save. Look behind him, and he's got it long enough.
What a nicely set up scoring chance. Holy smoke. You can see why this line is so productive. I mean, they bring him in late, Carter, as a second man almost, like a trailer, and boy, he's got a gun. Look at that, with Toffoli going to the net, and Howard has to make a good save there, moving across, and then to get the rebound as it was bobbing around underneath him. But boy, oh boy. Look at that. One to the net. The only thing they'd like better was somebody to screen Jimmy Howard, and they didn't.
Kings are 5 for 33 with the man advantage this season, 0 for 9 on the road. Jeff Carter, who's out there now, 2 power play goals, leads the team. He's got the puck, put it in front, and good coverage there, and Howard able to hang on to that as Brendan Smith did a nice job tying it up in front.
Well, watch your Red Wings game in a premium suite with one of your Hockey Town heroes like Kirk Maltby, Chris Osgood, Chris Draper, or others. For information, call 313-471-3051 or go to DetroitRedWings.com/Heroes of Hockey Town. Jimmy Howard, a similar kind of play. He's got the puck frozen. He's thinking, when is this whistle going to go? And they try to get it loose with Toffoli coming through. So it's obviously a plan of theirs to try to keep going until they hear a whistle, boy, and try to chip it loose like they did in the first goal.
Carter, Toffoli, and Pearson, the forward line in the power play. There's an even strength as well for the Kings. Glendening got the drawback, but the Kings pursued it. Carter. Back for Muzzin. Doughty to Muzzin to Carter. Reaching in there was Pearson. It came back for Carter. Pearson sets up in front of Howard. Toffoli in the slot. Pearson went looking for it. It's loose side of the goal. Threw it out front. Muzzin the shot. Blocked in front. Glendening. Muzzin. Going down was Carter and spinning around to clear it is Miller. Red Wings get a wholesale change in the penalty kill. Tipped ahead by Eriksson. Brought on here by Anderson. To Helm. And a save by Quick. Boy, Helm could have kept on skating.
He could have. Anderson knew what his job was there, just to drive the net and try to occupy the defenseman. But that first minute of the power play, a very good-looking power play by the LA Kings. Their hottest line was 17 goals. And Jim Howard got help there from Glendening, and the other end where Darren Helm might have just pulled the trigger a little bit later.
Mike Richards, a long shot in. Richards just a goal and an assist, 2 assists this season. He assisted on Martinez's goal here tonight. Just 3 points for Richards. Former Philadelphia Flyer.
He and Carter both were signed long-term deals with the Philadelphia Flyers. And boy, they really had it. They thought they had it going in Philadelphia, and then they just basically cleaned house. And both of those guys went and ended up in Western United States.
He had another stop in Columbus.
As far as you can go.
In Carter, yeah.
Philadelphia. This didn't fit for him in Columbus.
I wonder if they thought at the time it would have turned out so well as it has.
And the Kings?
Yeah, the Kings, yeah.
Oh, I don't think you could have predicted that.
No. Martinez, top of the circle, broke his stick, but Richards has it. Front of the goal, big crowd, and it didn't get through, and a chance for Williams.
Another penalty, Detroit.
With 2 seconds remaining in the Nyquist penalty and 61 seconds to go in the second period.
Yeah, and there's not much question about this call either. A pretty healthy cross-check from De Keyser.
I got Detroit, 2 minutes for cross-check.
Play's going to take place behind the net, right? Yeah, arms extended, referee can see it plainly. Easy call. So if you ever need to win a face-off, this is where it is. 5-on-3, deep zone.
Kings with a 5-on-3 power play. They've outshot the Wings in this period 11-8. Detroit with the edge 20-18 at this junction in the game. Carter, Toffoli, and Pearson, and Doughty, and Muzzin. Anderson, the lone forward for Detroit. Nyquist out of the box, just tipped wide of the goal. Howard scrambling to get back in. Point shot, Muzzin missed the net. Off the backboards, Richards, or that was Pearson jamming away at it, wouldn't go. Muzzin for Tyler Toffoli. Off the glass, Doughty getting over. Muzzin waits. Blocked in front by Kronwall. And Nyquist sent it the length of the ice. He'll head to the bench along with Anderson. And Smith and Kronwall as 4 fresh skaters come over the boards for Detroit. Helm and Abdelkader for the Wings up front in the penalty kill situation. Back in front of the goal. Howard, big save.
Wow.
To the line. Helm persists. Bouncing puck knocked away as 2 periods are in the books.
Boy, oh boy, you're going to maybe look back on this save with just seconds left in the second period. If the Los Angeles Kings make it a 4-2 game, look out in the third period, and it's Toffoli, the hottest line in the league right now, with 17 goals of the 24 the Kings have scored, and Jimmy Howard shuts the door.
Our MGM Grand Detroit second intermission. We'll talk power play with Darren, Chris, and Matt Shepard.
Don't miss the action. Friday, November 7th. The Wings battle the Devils. It's Military Appreciation Night, and every fan of the Joe receives a military dog tag. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com now or call 313-471-7571, 75 that is, during normal business hours. And as a bonus, the Red Wing players are going to be wearing a jersey just like this one on my back now, and they will use them in the warm-up. I'm going to do it 180 here. There's the backside. They had one made up for me. I don't know if I'll go down on the ice before the game or not. We'll wait and see on that. But as I read this to you, it's an online auction that these jerseys will be starting on the 7th of November at 5 p.m. and it runs through November 21st. Fans can go to DetroitRedWings.com/camo jersey auction, and all the money, all the benefits go to help for our disabled troops. So get your pocketbooks out and your credit cards. After November the 7th, the Red Wings will wear these jerseys. They'll be signing them. They'll be worn in the warm-up, and then they'll go on the online auction. So we'll see you there, gang. They're beautiful jerseys, as you can see. Thanks to Jim Zenik for all that hard work. Way to go, Jimmy. Should be a great night, Kenny boy.
Yes, indeed. Power play continuing here to start the third period for Los Angeles. On the carryover of the DeKaiser minor. Glendening will send them back right on Jonathan Quick. Red Wings scored 4 times in the first, 2 from Gus Nyquist in the power play. Datsuk and Tatar at even strength. Alec Martinez replied for the Kings in period number 2. That shot goes up high. Picked up by Tyler Toffoli. Now on his 3rd season in the league. Here's Muzzin. Howard will hold on.
Kings did not get a screen in front of Jim Howard that time. They had it beside him, but that doesn't do any good. You got to get in front of his eyes. These goalies in today's NHL, boy, they could stop a lot of pucks. And even with this guy shooting them with these special sticks, a lot of them over 100 miles an hour.
Williams helped out Stoll in that draw, but hand pass called. But was it off the face-off?
It might have been.
In fact, it was. There's going to be a penalty.
Well,
yes, the Kings are going to be shorthanded here.
well, the Red Wings were calling for the call to be made before anybody even
28 commits delay game.
moved on it. There it is. It didn't hit it by much. He didn't hit it by much. And Stoll's a very good face-off man.
Was it Joachim Anderson the other few games
It
back
was,
for
yes.
Detroit?
It was, yeah.
That
2 games
happened,
ago. Yeah. He hardly touched it, maybe with one finger, but that's all it takes. So there goes the power play. But the Kaiser's still in the box for 17. We'll go 4-on-4 here, early 3rd period.
I'd say Daryl Sutter looks distressed, but
Looks like that all the time. He's just shaking his head. Like, oh, boy. He was referring to his comments, like his post-game comments. They got whacked in one playoff game there. And they said, what do you think? He said, what did you say to the team? He said, the plane leaves at 11. That's it. Oh, boy.
so Jared Stoll sits for 2 or less. 4-on-4 here for the moment. The remainder of the Kaiser's penalty. So Datsuk steals the puck from Doughty. Then knocked away by Matt Green. And Datsuk took it away as Green gave it right back where he was heading. Zetterberg for Brendan Smith. Back for Datsuk. His pass was knocked down, but sure enough regained control of it. Then got checked. Then pursues the puck. And Doughty will just clear it down as the Kings are now shorthanded. So the Red Wings back on the power play that is 2 for 3 tonight. Jimmy Howard waits for it to come off the backboards and will swing one around this way for Kronwall. Nyquist, who's got 2 power play goals, has to chase, but Dustin Brown gets there first for LA. Right back into his own zone for Martinez. And the Kings goal scorer tonight gets it down the ice. Dwight King for Los Angeles with a shot that Howard stops. Gave it to Zetterberg, wanted to keep the play moving. Regeer with a shot, Howard the save, and they score! Boy, he wanted to keep it moving rather than hold it, and it backfired. And Tyler Toffoli makes it a 4-2 game, the Kings' 3rd shorthanded goal of the season.
Well, if that doesn't wake the Red Wings up, nothing will. They know darn well now the Kings are within striking range. But they just kept getting the loose puck. It got dumped down twice in the corner. And as you picked up, Ken, the communication right here, because they're on a power play, is the reason that he didn't hold it for the whistle. That's exactly what happened. And it went through Zetterberg's feet. And it starts it off right there to go back in the corner again. And boom, right into the back of the net. Toffoli, so the big line keeps getting bigger. 18th goal for the line they call the 70s line. Carter, Pearson, and Toffoli. And that one's shorthanded. So look out now. The Red Wings need to come hard on this one, I'll tell you.
Chance to get that one back here in the Bell Tire power play, but we'll have to start from their own end with a half-minute left in it. In all fairness to Henrik Zetterberg, that was a tough drop-off from Howard to Zetterberg for him to handle.
Well,
Tatar couldn't get through, and it's a break for Dustin Brown. He's in the clear. He's tripped. There's no call on the ball. Now there is. Penalty shot.
It was definitely a late call. No question about that.
A shorthanded penalty shot for the Kings captain, Dustin Brown. Paul Dvorsky had no arm in the air for a tripping call. He was waiting till the play was done, then signaled penalty shot
And this is
immediately.
what happens when you don't move the puck precisely and quickly as the last man. He waited a long time to make that call. The hand never went up anywhere near when normally it does. Not much question about it. Here we go.
Jimmy Howard facing another penalty shot, and he stops it.
Wow.
He now in the regular season, he is 10-11 of 16. He's faced 16 penalty shots in the regular season, and he stopped 11 of them.
I'm not sure where Dustin Brown was trying to go. He tried to go 5-hole. He got it up too high and hit him right in the belly. That was a huge situation for Detroit. If he scores there, I'm telling you.
Think about this, Mick. As Brown failed to score, Jimmy Howard in the regular season and playoffs, he's now in his 9th pro season. He's faced 18 penalty shots, and he stopped 12 of them. Only Ryan Miller and Roberto Luongo in the time Howard has been in the league have faced more penalty shots than him, and he's been pretty successful. Here's Datsyuk in, and Jonathan Quick at the other end holds on to that.
It's a lot of penalty shots. That's all I know.
Sure is. Remember his first 2 games, he faced a penalty shot in each.
Right.
Jimmy Howard. So, but he's come up big. His percentage pretty good.
All I got to say on that one, it's a good thing it's one of those kids in the 70 line that got that penalty shot, because they've been red hot. So it remains 4-2, and the Red Wings are on their heels right now.
Anderson over to get it. Quick, nubbed it aside. Justin Williams out of the air, played it to center. Then Brown was stopped. Brown would have loved a goal there just to try to get him on track with just 1 goal in the season. Joakim Anderson. Glendening gets it down into LA territory. Kings now out shooting Detroit 24-22. Drew Doughty. Missed the net and ricochet all the way back down the ice.
Kings are going to give it everything they've got right now. They're feeling like it's their game now to push it to Detroit, and the Red Wings are going to have to defend like crazy.
Helm got it into Yurko. Back to the line, and the Kaiser let it go. Helm put it in. He was hit hard again.
Good Lord.
Going to be a penalty here.
Good Lord.
And coming to his aid, and rightfully so, as they go after Jordan Nolan. Eriksson came in quickly. Now Helm mixing it up. He's in there with Andy Andreoff. They did not like that hit.
Well,
and the crowd likes the fact that the big defenseman came to his aid with Jordan Nolan. Jonathan Eriksson.
Well, this is a hit that could end up in a 5-minute major in the game misconduct because his face was in the glass. Just a semi-bit sideways, but he didn't know he was coming. It's a blind hit, and Nolan is one big drink of water. Big time. Oh, boy. That's a heavy, heavy hit. Wow. And that's the reason for all of that. No wonder Darren Helm got up. It just amazes me how these hits continue to be allowed without more severe penalty in our game. And why these young guys continue to do it themselves. Why would you hit anybody when they can't see you coming? I mean, it's unheard of. But it goes on every game, many, many times. And sooner sooner or later, they're going to have to get smart and outlaw it somehow. They got to teach these kids not to make these hits.
He sees the numbers. He sees 43 facing him. You can't make the hit.
The player making a hit like that, he's got everything in front of him. The guy that's getting hit has got nothing in front of him. He's got everything behind him. He can't see. So it's incumbent upon the hitter to make a decision to bail out, to ease up, to do something, not to potentially seriously injure an opponent.
And all the kids here growing up, his coach is telling him, finish your check, finish your check.
To me, that's a bunch of garbage. That's okay, in a lot of situations, but not like that. You cannot finish your check like that.
Mickey Redmond and Ken Daniels with you from Joe Louis Arena here tonight on Fox Sports Detroit and watching across Canada on Sportsnet as it's brought back in here by Tatar.
Well, I can tell you one thing, either in Canadian funds or American funds, it's all the same. They need to penalize these guys for these hits very, very severely. It's the only thing that'll stop it. Ice time and money are the only two things that seem to get their attention, and if we don't clamp down on it, the outcome is not going to be a pretty one, and we're going to wish we did. So please, Stephen Quintal and company in the NHL.
Well, he just handed out a 3-game suspension to the Canucks' Alexander Burrows today for an illegal check to the head of Montreal defenseman Alexei Yemelin for action last night. So that was swift. Off the boards, here's Brown in for Williams. Howard the save, and the net is off. And Smith and Brown came together.
Well, the Wings are getting a dose of their own medicine. The Kings are laying it on them now with the forechecks. They're having trouble making plays. The puck's getting coughed up. They're getting bad bounces. It's going the Kings' way, and it's lucky for Detroit. They're still only 2 goals up.
I remember the last time the Kings were in here back on January the 18th. That was when Nick Kronwall tied the game with 26.1 seconds left. When it went off the net, off picks back and in, and then the Red Wings won that game in a shootout, part of their 5 consecutive wins over LA here at the Joe coming into play tonight.
And that play will end up in...
Datsuk spinning back, saved by Quick.
The change in the rules. That and a few others.
Kronwall to Datsuk. To Kronwall to Datsuk. A head fake around Toffoli, back in front, knocked away. And Tyler Toffoli skates it out with Pearson. Leaves Pearson the puck. Pearson with 7 goals, 7 on just 20 shots.
If you're an LA defender, Ken, you cannot stand up on Datsuk. You have to back up. He's going to turn you inside out. It's a tough position to be in when you got a guy that's that slick with a puck. That's slippery.
Sellout crowd urging their Red Wings to pick up the momentum here. Zetterberg back of the net. 4-on-4 hockey continues. Time winding down in the offsetting minors. Both Erickson and Nolan stand in their respective penalty boxes as Doughty carries in at a shot blocked, and Carter shot going wide, but Jimmy Howard grabbed that. As they return to 5-on-5.
Well, it's been a strong game for Pavel Datsuk. He likes to fake to the outside, come back to the middle. Jonathan Quick was better on that one. But a pretty good scoring chance nonetheless. Abdelkader, he also got another follow-up rebound.
Datsuk with a goal and an assist tonight. Brown at a shot go off a leg and wide. Chip back into the corner, Brendan Smith. Anderson for Jonathan Erickson. Drew Miller will send it in. Glendening heads after it. Matt Green there first, turning in the corner. Played it to the line, but not out. Kindle held it in. Good stick lift there by Glendening. That allows Anderson to put it on goal. Glendening, and he gets punched. And the net is off. And there was no call on that play. It's a 2-goal lead now for the Red Wings as Glendening came close to making a 3-goal advantage again.
Well, Pavel Datsyuk, along with Justin Abdelkader the other night, boy, they turned the game around. Abdelkader gets his 4th and 5th. And look at this play by Datsyuk. My goodness, 4 defenders are back. And there's the winning goal. Datsyuk finished it off with a goal off of his stick to make it 4-2.
You can see as our Toyota scouting report on Justin Abdelkader. He didn't score his 5th goal until his 37th game last season, so it's his quickest to 5 goals. His previous best was back in 12-13 season when he scored 31 games it took him to get to 5. He's on quite the pace this year.
Yeah. Well, he's just beginning to settle in. He's in his 6th year in the NHL, full year. And Datsyuk loves him as a winger. That certainly helps. He came into this league pretty much as a defender, but he's learning how to find the back of the net.
Shane, a hard-working shift out there along with Nyquist. Tatar makes sure to get it deep, and the 3 will change. Kings will shoot it off the glove of Cronwall. Nesterson over to Helm, up with Yurko. Yurko's got it, backhanded one through the blue. 7.5 gone in the 3rd period. Red Wings scored the first 4. Kings have the last 2. One of those shorthanded. Red Wings have struck twice in the power play. They led 4-0 in the first.
Kings started getting momentum in the 2nd period, especially after that goal, which was kind of a funny goal, the first one. They really tried to press Detroit, and they're unlucky that they'd be a better fate than down by 2, especially with the penalty shot to Brown. And a couple other good chances as well.
Shots are even at 25 apiece. Change here for the Red Wings as Drew Doughty with his head up. Lost the puck. Stolen by Datsyuk. Oh, and a piece of that by Quick, and a penalty upcoming. Abdelkader comes in. Howard to the bench for an extra skater. Zetterberg put it back in front, and the Kings touch.
And Mike Babcock came right back with the Datsyuk line. For all purposes, double shifted him almost.
Got LA penalty, 2 minutes
Doughty
for hook.
had a problem finding it, and then that's a hook. Oh boy. You're lucky to be on the receiving end of that one.
I guess so.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I guess so. You can't find the handle. It says it's super slow-mo. But I mean, okay.
He's thinking that hook will not slow down Pavel Datsyuk.
Honest to goodness, yeah. Oh boy.
So the Red Wings on a Bell Tire power play. They're 5th of the night. They don't get it there, though, as Regeer's shot went wide.
Detroit's got to get this thing settled down here. They're just jumping around there. The puck is jumping. They seem nervous.
Brendan Smith's got some power play time here. And that hasn't happened. Datsyuk with Cronwall, Zetterberg, Abdelkader, and Brendan Smith.
You know why? Because Tatar turned the puck over the last power play.
Smith's got it.
Playing defense.
Well, one's misfortune is another one's fortune, I suppose. Zetterberg. Left it there. Datsyuk with a lift of the stick on Regeer. Cronwall, left point. Smith the other side. They'll cross now. Zetterberg took the shot, got it blocked as Regeer was in front of that. Kings want to get a change in the penalty kill. Right back in by Brendan Smith. Smith gave it away.
He's looking for Zetterberg. Put it behind him. So Tatar will come back out in the power play, but he's going to be a forward. Mike Babcock said, no more of that, Thomas. Too dangerous back on the blue line.
Green whacked at it. Kindle able to keep it in. Just got it across for Tatar. Nyquist to Shane, didn't get there, muzzin blocked.
Thomas Tatar went as Hugh Hefner in the Halloween party, and he threw the puck away like Hugh Hefner on that last power play, too.
I didn't know Hugh played hockey.
That's my point. Exactly.
Tatar going in to get it. Nyquist. To Kaiser. Kindle. Block. Nyquist. Penalty over. Out of the box is Doughty, but Nyquist has the puck. To Riley Sheahan. Martinez on Sheahan, who stays with it.
Another hook.
Pumped it off to Tatar. Goes back to the line here. Kronwall. Tatar in tight. What a one-time that. That looked like a Brett Hull style.
It was.
Left side.
An 80-mile-an-hour
Yeah.
one-timer. Couple good shifts though for Detroit to regain their confidence here and keep that 2-goal lead.
Drew Miller for Glendening. Off the glass and deep. Justin Williams played it ahead to Dwight King. The shot went wide from Clifford. Anderson couldn't pick it up. Now Smith got it to center, but again, Los Angeles with it. Braden McNabb with a pass ahead. Richards, good move. He's right in, and then just lost control. Mike Richards tried to backhand it. Smith got it ahead to Anderson. Doughty stepped up on him. Anderson gave it to Miller. Red Wings in the midst of a change.
They're all out of gas. That's why they couldn't even get the center to dump it in. They're spent.
Andre Nestrasil. And a save by Quick, where they don't want to go in the third. Red Wings by 2 on Fox Sports Detroit.
Time for our big boy. Big play of the game. Penalty shot awarded to the captain, Dustin Brown. 4-2 game with lots of time left, and Jimmy Howard saves the day. Kings score there. Look out. It remains 4-2, 8:01 to go in the third, and we're 5 skaters aside.
And the 2 top lines go head-to-head once again. Carter got that draw from Datsuk. Quickly out of the zone for Toffoli. Pearson to the goal as Toffoli shoots the rebound. Good tie up in front, though, as Eriksson wouldn't let Pearson stick free, and Carter was going to the net, too. Doughty for Toffoli. Ahead to Carter, back to Toffoli. Tanner Pearson tries to find it. Applicator was the first to do so. And Zetterberg just cleared it back to center. Kings in the midst of a change. Quickly ahead to Zetterberg. Red Wings changing too, but Zetterberg stays up on the forecheck. Justin Williams for LA to Jarrett Stoll. Stoll with no points in the season. They jam in back of the net, out of the crowd with it. Glendening to Smith. Didn't get what he wanted on that. Puck goes off to the corner for Anderson. Regeer on him to the slot. The shot. And a hard one from Glendening, stopped by Quick.
You've got to wonder, what do I have to do to score more? He's in the slot by himself. Let's go back, though, to what's going on. Hang it right there, guys. Here's a play the NHL guys are using. Down the right side, look at 2 Kings over here, the 70s line, going to the net. He's looking for a rebound off the right pad, and it's exactly what he got, and boy, it was juicy. But unfortunately for the Kings, they couldn't get it. Justin Applicator does. It's a planned play in the NHL a lot of times. You can't beat the goalies from over there, so get it low to the far side, off the pad, a big boom, and hopefully one of your teammates is driving the net for a rebound.
Danny DeKeyser missed it. Clifford's got it for LA. Nyquist covering up for DeKeyser. Brought back in offside by LA.
Tonight on Fox Sports Live, no huddle on college football's biggest matchups of the weekend. Analysis of LeBron James versus Derrick Rose in Chicago. And a full report from Denver and New England before Broncos and Patriots. Tonight on Fox Sports Live.
side again. Same spot for the face-off. Helm, Nestersill, and Yurko for the Red Wings. Kronwall and Eriksson. That's the Kings. McNabb. Shoveled in by Jordan Nolan. Eriksson, quick little outlet there for Helm. Kronwall. Quick comes out of the net. Played in for McNabb. Checked immediately by Nestersill. Yurko.
Watch your back. Touch three.
Dwight King for LA gets shoved there by Helm. Holding the line was Kindle, and Nestrasill's got it. Fights off a check. Nestrasill to the middle, a shot saved. Rebound for Yurko. Another shot. It's loose. Nestrasill can't bury it, and Quick's got it in a bid for his first National Hockey League goal.
Oh, you got to wonder how Jonathan Quick makes saves like these. Holy mackerel. Unbelievable. He's way out of the crease. They went to the net about 5 different times on this scramble, and nothing to show for it. We'll be back. And let's bring you our hard hits of the game, brought to you by Timberland. Lots of that stuff going on here tonight. Lewis and Smith more than once tangled. Both went down, and that's been a scene for a lot of these teams tonight. Both players, no matter who's hitting who, both guys are going flying, and they're hard. There's one by Williams that he's going to be stinging on still tomorrow. Shoulder into the boards. He missed making the check, actually. All brought to you by Timberland.
Offside as it came out across the line and sent back in by Smith, who did break up the Kings' rush on the play, though.
We're down to 5:28. This thing settled down a bit. Detroit's recovered from their rocky start in the third period. And the penalty shot to Dustin Brown. Short-handed goal by the Kings to make it 4-2. And boy, they had everything going their way energy-wise. But if this thing stays the way it is now, it'll be the 4-0 lead. It'll be the story and how good Detroit was in the first period that allowed them to win this game.
Williams put it in, and Howard makes the save. A rebound for Jared Stoll to get a piece of.
Join us again Sunday. Red Wings head to the town of Buffalo to take on the Sabres. Coverage begins at 4:30 in the afternoon with Red Wings Live. Red Wings Sabres Sunday at 4:30 on Fox Sports Detroit.
And from there, we'll head to Canada's capital. We'll go to Ottawa and then back to the U.S. to meet the New York Rangers on Wednesday. We'll have Ottawa's game for you also on Fox Sports Detroit.
And no rest because both Ottawa and the Rangers are teams that Detroit will end up battling with for playoff spots. Right now, not Buffalo because they've been off to pretty difficult start as Carolina.
Gave Boston a run last night despite what they had 15 shots or something, but it was close. And then Marchand did them in extra time. He had quite the night, Brad Marchand.
Well, no matter how bad a record is for teams in this league, you can never take them for granted, boy.
No, for sure not.
In today's world.
Here's Abdelkader in. Zetterberg, and the puck was fluttering a little bit. It has made its way over to him. Didn't settle down for him. Foley's pass was behind Tanner Pearson.
And of course, get back to that.
Carter's shot went wide.
He's so dangerous, Carter, every time he touches the puck. Of course, there's all kinds of discussion about the Red Wings looking at Tyler Myers, the big defenseman for the Sabres. So you got to look at him on Sunday as well. Where it is that any deals made for him is going to take half of Wall Street to get it, to get him.
They want prospects and picks, and good prospects. Here's Zetterberg with a try. In the Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel sweepstakes, I don't think Buffalo, North Carolina, seeing that they're going to have a tough time getting much better, are going to look to improve a whole lot this year.
No, well, the word around is that if the Sabres were to shop Myers to the Red Wings, the first guy that they want is sitting in Grand Rapids right now recovering from a broken leg.
Not going to happen, Anthony Manson.
That's right.
No.
That's why that deal won't get made. But Sabres also talking up Chris Stewart.
He's having a tough time scoring. Well, as is Buffalo. Riley Sheahan. Couldn't can get it toward the goal as Mike Richards got it to center, and Kendall will wrap it right back in. Red Wings tag out as Sheahan moves in. Sheahan with Nyquist and Tatar. Tatar's got a goal tonight off a beautiful feed from Gus Nyquist, who was two himself on the power play. Pavel Datsyuk with the other Red Wing goal. Sheahan. Red Wings put up a 4 spot in the first period. There's still 4.5 left in it. They were up 4-0. The Kings have scored once in the second and once in the third. That's where we stand now with just over 3 to play. Nyquist from his own side of center got it down, but no ice. Robin Regueiro, one-time saver, got it ahead for Dustin Brown. Where the Red Wings are heading to Buffalo. They've won 4 straight in Buffalo and have 8 straight wins against the Sabres. The longest active win streak against any opponent.
Well, you know, even though they should get out of here with a win tonight, there's a major lesson in the works here. Even with a 4-0 lead, you take your foot off the gas for a little bit, and boy, look out.
So Yogi was right.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick's going to the bench.
Yeah.
With 2:25 to play. Extra skater for Los Angeles. Their net is empty. Down by 2 goals. And a chance to get within 1, but a save by Howard.
That's a heck of a chance, too.
A Dwight King opportunity. Muzzin holds it in at the line to Jarrett Stoll, to Drew Doughty. Doughty going right in deep. Off Howard. Glendening a stab at the puck. Stoll will keep it in. 6 skaters to 5 for LA with their net empty. Jake Muzzin had it blocked in front. Chip to the line and out to center off Anderson. 1:50 to go in the third.
Oh, it's icy. Wow. Whoa, that's not what they wanted. Chip will have to come back in now, but credit to the team in white. They haven't quit, boy. But neither does this guy. And look at this highlight film right here of the work Pavel Datsyuk. A little shout for number 8 going to the net. He's absolute robbery doing things like this all night long. Creating scoring chances. So thrifty around the net. Another steal here off of King. Got the break off of Muzzin's foot. That was the second Red Wing goal. It's been a really good night for Mr. Datsyuk again. No surprise, though. He's feeling better and better every day. There goes Quick again.
6 skaters against 5. Again for LA. Datsyuk cleared it to the line, but Pearson held it in, blocked in front. Brendan Smith for Zetterberg.
Look at this.
For Abdelkader. Looks for Zetterberg, tipped to Datsyuk, and he scores! All 3 in on that one. Datsyuk from Zetterberg and Abdelkader.
Well, I didn't get that in my highlight reel of you.
He's got 2 tonight. A point in every game he's played.
Multiple point nights are becoming a regularity with Pavel Datsyuk. He didn't waste any time doing that. He was working on those sticks the night before the game and told me it's not exactly what he wants, but it's close enough.
4 goals and 8 points in 5 games for Pavel Datsyuk.
He can do that.
Well, the 150th consecutive sellout crowd, many departing and singing on their way out of the Joe. As the Red Wings will win this one over the LA Kings. Their 6th straight win over LA at the Joe. And their 8th win the past 10 tries anywhere against Los Angeles.
It has been a pretty amazing 10 games for the Detroit Red Wings when this month was unveiled. For a team that everybody thought there'd be a very slight chance, a lot of pundits, that they're going to make the playoffs for the 24th straight year. And you saw all the teams that they were playing, back-to-back with Toronto, Montreal, Pittsburgh, LA, in Washington, in Philly. And they're going to end up with 14 out of 20 points, even though there's 2 points in losses, overtime or shootouts. It's like 7 wins out of 10. Pretty impressive. And their hard work has got them there.
The one we'll remember most, I think, would be that victory over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the comeback, yeah. But it's crazy. I mean, they lost one like that to Montreal. lost one kind of like that to Anaheim right here.
With the no-call late.
Right? So, it's been wild. 10 games.
It's been a fun month.
It has, sure.
Exciting month for sure as we'll begin November and the Red Wings in a good spot. As the crowd cheers the Red Wings in a 5-2 win.
Well, it's a great night for Datsyuk. Good night for Jimmy Howard. He stopped the penalty shot and is good when he needed to be. The Kings get 30 shots to Detroit's 35. But Gus Nyquist is our Miller Moments provider as he gets 2 again tonight. Both on the power play. What a tic-tac-toe play that was. And his goal will be the winning goal. Of a 5-2 Red Wing win here at the Joe.
In that first period, the Red Wings with 4 goals in 9 minutes and 23 seconds. And that third goal means Gus Nyquist has another game winner, his second of the season. And a big night again for Pavel Datsyuk as the Red Wings outshoot the Kings 35-30. Eric Franny now with our 3 stars.
Star number 3 from Detroit, number 35, Jimmy Howard. Star number 2, also from Detroit, number 13, Pavel Datsyuk. And star number 1 from Detroit, number 14, Gustav Nyquist.
2 tonight and 3 is past 2 after going 4 without after starting the season with goals in the first 4 games for Gus Nyquist. The Red Wings win by 3.